Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Legend of Keepers, shall we? Well, this game is brand new to me, and I saw it on sale on Steam, and it looked like an interesting roguelike where you're kind of defending a fortress against invaders, and I do sometimes enjoy these inversions where you're the baddies, kind of like Tecmo's Deception style game, and I want to see what this is all about. I'm playing the vanilla game here in 2022, and so let's dive in and have some fun. We're going to choose a new game because, you know, this is us, so I guess we just call it Dr. Incompetent. And we create.
Are you a slave master in search of something new? Are you an enchantress with an ever-insufficient magic budget?
I mean,
are you a misunderstood genius? Sign up with the Dungeons Company. Assemble your ideal team, train your monsters to defend our treasures from ever stupider heroes. Feel free to give us a call by Crystal Ball at and become a part of the Legend of Keepers.
Okay. So it's a cheap ad campaign.
Congratulations and welcome to the Dungeons Company.
Thank you.
As you saw on the job posting, your main task is to protect the treasures we keep in our dungeons. We don't have much time to spend training you, so please keep up.
Okay, I will keep up. Alright, so right away as we get into the game, I love the voice acting. I like the sense of humor that they bring. That's fantastic. And this Cyclops training lady is awesome. She's got a little name tag. She's got her hair in a tidy bun. She has enormous hoop earrings. And if you check out her desk, it has kind of like metal trim for reinforcement. Makes it look kind of like a rough and ready treasure chest. But then she has a very, very imposing spiked mace to her right, a notebook, a kind of eternal flame torch, and then some cobwebs covering her books. Like, it's interesting, like, her tidy appearance, you know, doesn't seem to match the disregard of the instruments that she's got to her left and the cobwebs, but maybe that's just part of the charm. Maybe she likes the cobwebs. I don't know. So let's see what's going on.
Heroes keep coming to try and take our treasures. The marketing team has worked hard to promise gold and glory to these idiotic adventurers.
Oh, good.
We have a little time before they get here, so let's place our traps and our employees to prepare a defense.
So our marketing team is recruiting people to help train us to come steal the treasures, which we actually don't want them to do, but we're paying like low-level grunts to come in and get mowed down. All right, so we've got some time, so let's place some traps. Bone catapult, level 1. Okay. All right, so let's look at the screen here, and we've got some beautiful pixel graphics. The barbarian in the front here, Thokal, appears to be almost naked. I'm assuming he has a loincloth, but his hand is very, very conveniently placed in a modesty position over his loins. The rogue looks awesome in tatters a bit. I think that this rogue is missing an arm already. It looks to be bleeding. So this guy's not in the best shape. And then there's a ranged attacker who... Is she wearing a blindfold? You know, I don't know how she's going to be hitting us with that, but maybe that's part of the drill to make her less powerful so that we can beat her. We have a really nice Minotaur statue up here with just a huge axe. I wish it could swing into action. And then, you know, I'm just going to throw it out there. If you wanted this hallway to be lit, instead of spending resources on these chandeliers, you could just open the curtains and use the natural sunlight, but that would defeat the purpose of these amazing black drapes. So where do I put this? By the way, when I mouse over everything, look how deep this information is. You know, it shows you like their resistances, their strengths in terms of the elements and armor. It gives you how much health they have, their damage, their morale, their class, their level, and their abilities that they can do. So there's a great amount of information on this tooltip. And then when I mouse over my catapult, it says it gives -10 morale and applies demoralized 2. But does it hurt people? Like, all this does is... Oh, I just put it down. Okay, so I could only put it in one place. So I click it and it goes right here. All right, so we're going to say confirm. I mean, this looks like it would do damage, but maybe because it's just bones and blood, it's more about scaring them than about hurting them. Okay, let's see what happens.
We always leave an empty room in every dungeon. You can use it to ambush the adventurers with one of your favorite spells.
Okay, so when they go into the empty room, it's time to use my magic.
Some rooms are dedicated to combat.
Okay.
This is my favorite bit.
She loves it.
Make sure you analyze each group of adventurers. Your employees are counting on you to prepare an effective strategy.
Okay.
Pay attention to combatants' attacks and resistances. They are key elements for victory.
All right, so we were looking at that before. Okay. All right, so we have monsters. Like we have our good buddy Guarg, who's a level 1 orc. And now you can see at the bottom there are some pips for his ability that says front. On the top of the right panel, it says 35 physical damage, applies bleeding for 2 rounds, I assume. And bleeding looks like -10 life on the next turn. And it hits in a stack of 2 for 5 each. And that will be applied to whoever is in their front row. It's kind of like Darkest Dungeon, where we're looking at their lineup. So this is like, I think somebody explained this on the Steam comments as inverse Darkest Dungeon, and that's kind of what it is. So they're coming in, and we're paying attention to the position like Darkest Dungeon, and Darkest Dungeon has sanity, but this game has morale to measure their psychological stress. And now we're being the baddies. So I'm going to put this guy in the front because he looks pretty tanky. This guy is a mage, and this guy is a ghost. So let's just kind of put him here, and we'll put him there. And then we're going to put this guy here. Oh. Yep. And then Will, I love the name for the ghost. It's Will. And we'll put him here. And then so it looks like he's going to do an attack of -40 morale on the person in the front row. And the person in the back row is going to get hit by this air spell. So let's see what happens. Oh no, I'm just practicing. I'm not actually seeing it play out. Okay, oh no, here it comes. Alright, wait, let me pause it. Let me see if I can pause the game. Okay. No, I didn't get to pause it. So it's like you set everything up, and then it looks like they run through it, like a tower defense or something. Okay. So we hit him with the bone catapult, and you can see that it did damage to their will, which is this... or I'm sorry, their morale, which is this purple bar. If it goes to 0, they run away. And this has... they're unwavering, but if we lower their morale, then it also increases the damage that they take, and then they have a debuff on them called demoralized, which is going to give them even less morale. Now, right here, this incredibly ripped individual with pierced nipples and a chain running across his rippling abdominals is this guy, and then it says cast a spell. Now, is this supposed to be me? I mean, I do have beard jewelry, which kind of entails that I know my way around a spell book, but I look more like a warrior type, but maybe I'm a hybrid. I need to clean up the blood on my face, or maybe I'm hoping it adds to my overall mystique. Now, these bangs, I'm not in favor of these bangs. These bangs need a little bit of work, I should say, but we're going to just have to accept that for now, and let's show no mercy. This says applies enraged to the next group of monsters. So this says damage and morale dealt increased by 30%. So I'm going to use this spell to buff up the next room. And this looks like it's showing my rooms up here. So it's like we went to the trap room, we have the spell room, then we have our monster room, and then we have the boss room where it's the master of the dungeon. Okay, so we're going to just show no mercy. So now these guys are all buffed up.
The job also involves bullying these insignificant humans. No reason work can't be fun.
Heyo.
You can, of course, kill them or terrify them so much they'll flee like peasants. As you
That's
see
right.
fit. Don't forget that in battles, the fastest combatants act first.
Okay, so there's a turn order. Fair enough. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so the rogue hit, and it's going to play out in this order. And, oh, okay. So it plays out in order, but then we get to make choices when our turn comes of what we want to do. So right now they're saying I should do scare, which I was hoping to not do scare, but I wanted to do this one in the back here. But it looks like it's only letting me do one of these abilities. So we'll give the guy in the front minus morale. And you can see on the tool, or just on the character panel that's below Thokal, he has right now a morale that's upwards of 75. But if I do this and mouse over my ability, it shows you that it's going to put minus 52 morale on the front character, and you can see how his morale bar kind of grays out to reflect what the effect of this would be. So you can get a preview of your ability before you commit to it, and we're going to do this. Oh my. We hit him with our ghostly face tentacles. Okay, now our ghost is almost dead, which is bad, but I take it that I really, being a diabolical dungeon master, I don't care about the well-being of my employees. So if they die, they die. I don't know if it's like I want these guys to level up and I'm encouraged to have them survive or not. We're going to find out. Or if they just, are consumables and they go away at the end of the raid. So Fireball says it's going to do 78 damage to the back character, and you can see it's going to do like half their health. And if they're affected by 2 penalties, they lose morale. So right now they're only affected by enrage, which I guess enraged applies to everybody. Like, we made everybody mad, so everybody's going crazy. And then, so I'm going to Fireball, and, well, there that went. Okay, so this guy got poisoned. So Guarg has been poisoned, and I can do Scream of Terror, which they want me to do to give everybody minus 20 morale. And this will almost scare Thokal away. So Scream of Terror, this is fantastic. This is what I do before it's time to go to work and to get pumped up. So let's do it. Oh my! Look at that. I'm scared. Okay, you can see they had a debuff tick against them right there. So they're so scared that their damage taken is increased by 75%. And they're going to lose more morale when somebody is defeated, but they get morale back if they kill one of us. Okay? So right now we're going to scare, and this will, you can see the little running icon that's appearing around Thokal, like he's going to be frightened away, and he's outlined in purple, and there's the purple silhouette of the running person to indicate this will make them run. So let's see what this does to everybody else. Yeah, so they left, and then they got hit for morale because their barbarian left. Now, I don't know if they... No, they did not get morale back for killing the ghost. And we can fireball and almost kill the person in the back. And so our barbarian died from poison, and our mage is dead, but we've significantly weakened their party. So they're coming into the boss fight. And oh man, look how many hit points the boss has. Like, they got to attack first, but it doesn't even matter. Now I have an actual decision to make, which is really cool. I get to choose between these different abilities. Whiplash would do damage and regenerate. Enslavement would does area damage and will kill the one in the back. And then Challenge would sap morale. Let's just do Enslavement and take out the archer. And we put a huge bleed on the rogue. Oh my. Oh boy. Look at this awesome treasure chest back here. Now, we have like dangling bodies as our artwork and huge demon skulls adorning the plinths that are supporting the archways we have. And then we have some other kind of just more fun modern demon art representations in the back on these dioceses. And so this is looking really good so far. These windows are not curtained. We're letting in the light. And that's because we want to only illuminate this with these candles that are on the ground. We're not using the torches in these sconces. We don't have any hanging chandeliers. The gloom is present, and we want you to have some light so that you can see how terrifying this centaur is that you have to fight, and how much blood is on the glaive that they are using. So now, if we whiplash, we just win. Oh my god, we whipped the guy in the face.
You did it.
I did it.
I knew from the start that you had potential.
Thank you.
Know that here in Dungeons Company, we reward talent and value ambition. Shoot for the moon.
I'm shooting for it.
And so, your training ends.
Thank you.
I'll see you again next year for your annual evaluation.
This sounds great.
If you do a good job in protecting our treasures, you'll get the promotion you deserve.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the help, Cyclops lady.
Torture? It's a passion.
Torture is a passion. How about that? Yikes. This guy is scary, but it's me. This is me. So there you go. So I'm looking at the overworld map, and it looks like these are like, you know, campaign stages that you can do. And I don't know at this point in the game if it's like a roguelike and I play through each of these levels to try to win a run, or if it's more of a RPG where I'm just trying to progress and it's not like I start over or anything like that. We're going to find out. Looks like there's other characters or, you know, dungeon masters that we can unlock up here on the top, and that we are just currently this huge guy. I don't think we can rename him, but this is who we are. Fantastic. Okay, so one of the things I notice immediately when I look at this screen is that there's an exclamation point on my talents. So I get a talent point that I can use on this talent tree to develop my dungeon master here. So I can take this one, which says each time a monster is defeated grants a 10 or 20% chance that the master gains shell 1. Okay, so if we lose a monster, then all damage is done to us is reduced by 20. That's pretty good. Grants to the master 50% or 100% chance to get enraged each time he takes damage. Okay. Intimidation deals additional morale. And when the hero is defeated by a monster, grants a 10 or 20% chance that the group of monsters gain enraged. So it's like, do you want to buff the master or do you want to buff the monsters, right? Now this is pretty good, but I'm not sure where I want to go, and I don't know why, but I kind of like the idea of just crushing the enemy's will and just making them run away in terror. So I'll try this and see if that's good. Then, we're going to let's check out the info on this guy. So this dude's name is Mog, and he's 54, looking good for 54, ripped physique. But then again, he's a centaur, so that could be like 5, I don't know. Centaur years. Mog's main quality is his philanthropy, oh really? Closely followed by his avid desire to devour human flesh. Wow, I didn't think that those things were compatible, and his strength unmatched among mortals. Originally from the tundra of Sorrow Shroud, he likes to keep heroes alive as long as possible, and even the most creative monster alive couldn't imagine the horrors he inflicts on them in his torture chamber. Able to mix psychology and whiplashes in a very subtle way, Mog is the paragon of happy management for the joy of the grumpiest employees. Oh, God. Yeah, I bet he gets the most out of his staff. Okay, so here's his kind of stats here, his strengths and resistances, okay? And then there's different missions, which I don't know what this necessarily means. These are like... Oh, I see. It's telling me I'm going to do this mission right here, and these are the monsters I get to use, and these are the traps I have at my disposal, and here's a reward that I can get. Okay, interesting. So, if I click customization, it allows me to get more experience by, like, making the heroes stronger, or I can get more money but less experience. So you can, like, tweak this if you want. You can change the difficulty. I think I'm on just normal. Yep, I am. And you can adjust this however you like. You could make the game longer, I guess, if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep everything on default. So it looks like we have a goblin, an orc, a skeleton archer, an orc, a skeleton magus, and a yetigo, as well as monsters we can use at our disposal. And then we have a rallying horn, a bone catapult, and a circular saw as traps that we can place. So let's try this. Let's go to start.
Welcome to the company, Mog.
Thank you.
I am delighted to have you with us. We'll need your fabled management techniques. We're putting you in charge of a little team in the old empire, a region overrun by humans.
Uh-oh.
It's up to you to gather the monsters in the area and teach them how to defend themselves. Turn them into great employees, ready to give their lives multiple times for the company.
Hilarious. So, ready to give their lives multiple times. So, I don't know if that means that the monsters come back or what that means, but that's hysterical. So, yeah, we got to help them defend themselves. Okay. So, it says choose a task for week 1, which the only one I can choose from in the first week is adventurers. But it looks like in week 2, we get some other choices. All right, so this means that these are normal difficulty, 2 out of 5 attack, no disasters, no resting rooms, 3 heroes. The rewards are we get another monster for our team, and 85 to 125 gold. Let's dive into it. Preparation phase. And there's a bunch of skulls. Normally when I prepare for anything, I put skulls everywhere, so this totally makes sense to me. Okay, so here's the enemy heroes. Look at this guy. It's a monk, okay? So this guy's name is Chion. I'm not sure how to read that, but I'm just going to say Chion. And he's got, you know, he's a robust, bald, hairless... He's kind of like the Michelin Man, and he's coming at us. He does ice damage, and he can remove the penalty with the most stacks applied from all heroes at the start of his turn once. That's problematic. Then we've got Rician, who's a scout or an archer. She's coming in. She does physical damage to the back row. And then we've got this healer, and she can heal somebody 1 time per battle, it looks like there, and does an AoE ice spell. So given that, we have 3 monsters to choose from to place against them. So the first room is monsters, then we go into a trap, we get to use our spell, then we have to fight again, another trap, and then it's boss time. So let's see how this goes. So this guy, Ulna, well, Ulna, what a hilarious name for a skeleton. So Ulna needs to go in the back I suppose. But she'll get busted up by this ability. So maybe I actually want to put one of these other ones in the back. So this guy can only attack the front row, only the back row, and AoE. So honestly, the safest place for this archer, who has 55 hit points, is in the middle. And I don't know if it matters, like, where we put them in terms of what they can do. Like, in Darkest Dungeon, your position matters and determines what ability you can use. But in this, it just looks like your ability can only target a certain enemy position, but it's irrespective of my own position, at least as I'm interpreting that now. I'm also seeing that we have decapitated hero heads that are dripping blood as decorations adorning our little operation. So that's pretty funny. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in the front because he's big. And he can take the most damage. He's got 120 hit points. This guy's only got 50 hit points. And this Ulna has 55. So we're going to take, what, 40 and 16. So 55. So this would kill Ulna. How fast are these people? Let me see how fast they are. Is it the up arrow? Did it tell us what speed they go at? I'm guessing that's it. And so this guy's really fast, but he's going to die. And so we'll get to act once before them. So let's then just put the archer in the back, even though I don't want to. Just because this person is so weak, this goblin, that they're going to die anyway. So let's do it. And now you can see how they're grayed out because we're just preparing. So what do we want to do? We could do bleeding damage, and this does area damage. We could do morale damage, and we could do the rallying horn, which enrages the next group of monsters. I think we want to do this so that we enrage our next group of monsters. Look at this rallying horn. It's kind of like a fat goblin man in a rolling chair that has a horn hooked up to it so he doesn't have to move. It's like a throne. And then there's skulls all over this. It's like the Game of Thrones throne, but it's portable. It can roll around, and all this guy's going to do is blow the horn to pump everybody up and scare them. Then we're going to confirm this trap. And nothing to do in the spell room. We choose that at the time. And then here we get to place some more guys. So this dude does 50 damage to the back and AoE damage, and this does a bunch of damage to the back. I wonder what happens if the back enemy in the third slot gets killed. If you can use this on the whoever is in the de facto back after that. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. All right, so I'm going to put Furbog in the front, this guy in the back, and Kigilu in the middle. Good. And then we need another trap. Now, at this point, I'm going to use the bone catapult instead of the circular saw because I'm trying to demoralize them. So this will help that. And we're ready to go. And here's me. Rawr. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so they come in, and indeed, we get to act first. So we're going to choose with our goblin who's the fastest, 120, 30, and 120. Or 80. So it looks like this person gets to go next, but they can't kill anybody. And then our archer, then them, and Quordud goes last because Quordud is slow. But this is fine. What's Goblin Attack do? 35 damage to the back, or I can do a bunch of damage to the front. Let's do this first because it's a dot and we want it to last as long as possible. I guess I could focus on the healer. Oh, no, they are going to one-shot me. I didn't think that they had a one-shot in them. That's too bad. I mean, but if I would have put the goblin in the back, the archer would have died I mean, the goblin would have died in one shot, but they would have got to act first. So that was my mistake. I should have put the goblin in the back, so they acted first and then died, and then the archer got at least a turn. I'm going to demoralize them. And we're going to... I'm going to keep poisoning. I hope they don't remove the stacks of poison. That would be so brutal. But it would be a good learning experience if that's what they choose to do. No, they're not doing that, luckily. At least as I see it. And we've survived long enough to get to do one more attack. So what do we want to do with our other attack? All right, let's think. I think I want to just keep going on with morale. I could do a bunch of damage with the cleaver, but I need to do as much morale damage to see if this is a viable way to go about defeating the enemies. Okay. So you can see that the poison is still affecting them. And now it's time for our spell. And Intimidation is the ability that we use. And we pump this up, and it hits all of them. We already have Enrage on the next group of monsters, so we don't need to do this. And this would just do a bunch of damage to the front guy, and we could take him out. But I want to just keep going with morale damage and see how this plays out. So, for example, this guy is, like, worried, so he takes extra damage. All right. We also used our ability from Intimidate, and it gives this debuff called Terrified, which means morale taken from attacks and traps increased by 50%. So if we did this ability, it's going to do 50% more, and so we're going to do Fear of the Dead. And I'm just going to just rock this out. He's going to cure himself, I think. No, he didn't. I don't know what that did, but now what do I want to do? Freezing Breath hits them all and slows them, or I can do a bunch of damage to the back. Let's slow them down and see if this will help us get one more action out of our people. Okay, and we're definitely going to do Scream of Terror. We've almost got the monk ready to run away. They're, in fact... Oh, okay, perfect. So, look at this. My speed is 70, and her speed is normally higher, but because I slowed them, which reduces their speed by 40, which is significant, exactly what I wanted to happen is happening, which is this guy is going to get one more turn before he dies. So we're going to do Fear of the Dead again. And they are terrified. They've killed that person, but that really doesn't matter. We're going to instead, let's just punch the person in the back with a bunch of damage. And now I'm going to do Scream of Terror, and the monk will run away. He's out. And these they're just about to run away. Like, they're terrified. Oh, they all ran. And we got an achievement called Run for Your Life. So they didn't even make it to the boss because we made them run away. Now, I don't know if I'm going the long way about. Like, it might be better to have them just do damage, but I'm having fun with the morale thing. All right, so... Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Well, then, never mind. So there's an incentive for doing both. So you get tears if you make them scared, and you get blood if you kill them. So this currency might be used, and you can make your determination on what type of victory you want to get to make this happen. So we protected the dungeon. We got 114 gold, and we get to choose between some of these different creatures. We could have a gnoll. We could have a skeleton dog. And we could have a skeleton majorette. And the Majorette does area damage and morale damage. And her name is Megan. So let's take this Majorette. That's hilarious. Okay. And motivation. I don't know what this means. I can't click anything. It just tells me that these people are getting motivated. I don't know what that meant, but that happened. Okay, so now we choose a task. We can have a merchant to buy a monster or a trap from this unscrupulous merchant. We can have an engineer spend some gold to upgrade your traps, or we can have an event deal with office troubles in the business work environment for better or worse. Interesting. So I have 464 gold. That seems like a lot. And I kind of want to upgrade a trap. Let's take the engineer and see what happens. I love this rallying horn, to be honest. So if I get the rallying horn upgraded, what it does is it just gives you more morale penalty, but it doesn't do anything about the anything else. This one would give them more minus morale and demoralized 3. So that's even better in terms of morale off. But I love this one because it just boosts the morale damage, and if you stack this with intimidation, the morale becomes crazy. So I'm just going all in on morale. This could be dumb, but let's have some fun. And, oh, I can actually do 2 of these. Yeah, upgrade them both. Why not? Oh, I could have upgraded this to level 3. Oh, but this is for the next 2 groups of monsters, and I haven't gotten to a situation yet where I have 2 groups of monsters following, but anyway, that's great. Okay, so now I know you can actually level the things up more than once here. It's not just like it's locked. Okay, great. Alright, so now we can do an alchemist, transmute blood or tears into another resources, but I don't have enough resources to use this, so we have to take an event, I guess? Lost adventurer. While wandering around in the corridors this morning, you come face to face with a human. He seems as surprised as you are. What are you going to do? Alright, so we can scare them, kill them, or capture them. I kind of want to scare them, because I want enough tears to be able to use the alchemist. It seems interesting. And there's an engineer, but we have no money, so let's do another event. A headhunter is here to show you a promising monster he has spotted on the job market. Do you want to recruit it? I mean, this looks like a good monster, but we don't have any money, so we have to reject it. And now week 5 means more adventurers. Let's go for it. Who we fighting? Who we fighting? You tell me. All right, it's Valkrom the Barbarian. It's Ara the Exile. And Mira the Apprentice Mage. Okay. Oh, this is a morale healer. So in a situation like this, when you see that they have a morale healer, it might be a moment where you're like, okay, they can heal morale, but they can't heal health, so I should stack on doing damage to them instead of trying to damage their morale because they're good against it. However, that being said, they don't seem strong enough against it for me to reject it outright, so I'm going to do this anyway. So we're going to start with the Rallying Horn because it's awesome, and then we're going to place our monsters. Now, in this point, we're going to just put as much... we're going to put this guy in the front, and... How fast are you? What's your speed? 80? What are you? 65, 25, 85. So only one is going to go faster than us. And you're 80 and you're 80. Can you kill any of us? 28 damage? No, this wouldn't kill either of us. Okay, so what do I want to do then? Honestly, I'm going to use the archer in the back. Oops. Yeah, you in the front. And Megan in the middle. Confirm. Spell room, another trap. We're going to use the bone catapult. Confirm. And I'm going to just do the same thing we did before. Same sequence. Let's roll it.
Come get some.
Come get some, indeed. Oh my god. There's a human being roaring on the fireplace, on the spit. Alright, so we've hit them. This group of monsters is enraged. Ouch. Now, wait a minute. Did you just go twice? Oh, okay. So she has something called a skill, which says it deals 12 ice damage to the monster with the lowest ice resistance at the start of each fight. It just triggers. It's like a enter the battlefield. And then she used her ability. Okay, fine. We're going to do Fire Eater, which hits everybody and hurts their morale. Bam. How awesome is that? I mean, look at my skeleton majorette. Could I look any cooler? This is ridiculous. I'm doing tricks. All right. Toxic Volley puts poison and nature damage on everybody. Or I could hit the person in the back for a ton of damage. Let's do that. Let's focus fire on that mage. We got an achievement called Looking for Something. I don't know what that means. And we're going to scream and just continue to disrupt their morale. Aww. All right, Fire Eater again. Get that morale down. The barbarian's about to run away. And this will just kill the person in the back, so I might as well do that. They lost morale from the kill. That was a death javelin. And, ooh, she survived somehow. We get to do one more Fire Eater, and this will make the barbarian run away. It's just the exile. It is just the exile. Yes. I love it. Okay, so if I intimidate, it's very, very awesome. But this person is like doesn't care about morale, so I don't want to. I can't force the issue too much against this character. They're like super strong against morale attacks. So instead, let's just set them on fire. Take that. So I see you kind of have to balance because some enemy groups are like, hey, I don't care about morale too much, and we need to be aware of that. We'll just kill this person. Just fireball them. Their morale is almost down entirely, too. And let's just hit him with ice. It's over. So we got some blood. We got some tears. And we defended the dungeon, got 57 gold. And we get to pick amongst these creatures. So there is a boar man, there's an ice skeleton, and there's a harpy. Harpy's kind of good. You get haste on your characters. Ice skeleton does morale damage, and the boar man can stun, which is also really cool. Do. This is good against armor, if they have it, I suppose. Nah, I'm still going full on morale. All right, fantastic. So motivation. So I guess this is them, like, leveling up? Or, or maybe it's their motivation is going down. Like, you can't use them too much, or they become tired or something? I don't know. I don't understand that screen yet. We'll have to figure it out. What's this? Employees, 8 of 12. Traps, 3 of 6. Oh, okay. So... oh, I can, like, change the lineup of, like, who's available for room 1. And then you can change who is available for room 2. That's really cool. Okay. And what are you still telling me about? Oh, I leveled up, maybe? Promotion, schedule. Anyway, I can go to the merchant. I can go to the trainer. But I don't have enough money, and I don't have enough money for the engineer. So let's just see what the merchant has, I guess. I can hire a skeleton cultist. Or I can get this icy breeze. This guy is like master of morale. Yeah, let me get this guy. Did we level up? Archivist. What is the archivist? Oh, okay. What? What does this mean? Bewitched glove. Damage dealt by monsters to heroes at their maximum life increased by 100%. Now, I don't understand what all this stuff is. What does this mean? Like, I can equip these artifacts, or you're just telling me about them? I don't think I have any artifacts equipped on my character. Alright, interesting. Maybe I'm just learning about different artifacts. Okay. Talents. No talent points. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Alright, and let's see, what's collector? No resources, no resources. I'll go to the trainer just to see how much it costs. So I could, like, level this person up, and they would get a new ability, but it costs 100. Ooh, it costs a lot for... Some of these people costs a ton to level up. Just depends. It varies. But unfortunately, I have no cash, so we gotta leave. And we go to the next week. Do we have enough for the alchemist? Do I have enough tears? Let's see what tears do here. Okay, perfect. Oh, no. It just lets you transmute. So I could turn tears into blood, but I can't actually do anything with them. Oh, I thought it was like I was going to exchange them. Well, that's too bad. Oh, look at this. I can plunder. Send 3 volunteers to plunder the place of your choice, or I can go on a business trip. Choose an employee to protect the sales department during a business trip. Let's do a business trip, and let's choose somebody to go... Okay, so this guy can... The management would like to send one of your employees with the sales department to be their bodyguard. You will be compensated, of course. All right, so let's just choose this one and send them. And now we got Nightmare Catcher, which is an artifact, and it says... Demoralize deals 200% physical damage instead of morale. Interesting. Well, but I was... it's actually kind of the opposite of what I was going for, but that's okay. Now, I could go with the veterans, who are harder, or I could go with the adventurers, which are easier. And I think that... and they get a trap reward. Let's try to get a better trap. The idea of the veterans and trying to defend the pyramid, it's such a jump. I feel like I'm not ready for that. So we're going to choose adventurers, and we're going to do that. But we'll get into that next time. I think this is a good place to end this initial episode, this initial look at Legend of Keepers. And I'd love to know what you guys think about this game. Like, what are your thoughts and impressions? Do you want to see more of this? Have you played this? Do you like this? This is a good game. Do you recommend it? Do you have any tips or tricks that are non-spoilery spoilery for me as I kind of begin the game playing for my first time? I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'd love to chat with you about it in the comments below, so I look forward to reading those. Take care, everybody.